This sector consists of all individuals in the economy, all the citizens in the economy. These individuals are the owners of productive resources and the consumers in the economy. Individuals supply factors of production, that is what we can refer to as inputs, such as labor, enterprise to business, which they use to produce goods and services. As a reward of the supply of these resources, such as labor and enterprise to firms, individual receives income in form of rent, in form of wages, in form of interest and profit as their own benefits for the supplier of the resources. Also, we have businesses. This sector consists of all the business firms engaged in the production and distribution of goods and services, apart from financial services. Those ones are referred to as the businesses in economy. It concerns all their activities involved with buying factors of production and using them to produce goods and services and to sell them to the final consumers. Individuals and business are interdependent, as businesses depend on individuals to produce resources such as labor and other factors of production. Individuals depend on businesses to produce goods and services for their own consumption. So there is a kind of interdependent relationship between individuals and businesses. Then we also have another one called financial institution. This sector consists of all those institutions that are engaged in the borrowing and lending of money, acting as the intermediaries between those who save and those who borrows money from banks. Some save money to banks, to the financial institutions, while some get it from financial institutions for business transactions in order to make the economy flow well. Financial institutions are needed for individuals and firms to be able to undertake savings and investments. Individuals save for future, and firms also need money to invest and go on with the businesses. They perform the function of mobilizing savings for investment. They mobilize savings from the individuals for business investments. Savings is like linkage, while investment is like injection. That is the way it is, and the work between the two, that the financial institution is trying to link the two together, is very, very important in an economy. And next one is that we have is government. In this sector, for example in Nigeria, this sector consists of what we refer to as federal government, state government, and local government. It involves in the satisfaction of collection or community wants. That is, it obtains the resources to do this through imposing taxes on the other sector of the economy. Government plays some roles in the economy to make the activities, both business activities and individual activities, easy and continuous in the economy. And what are the major sources of the income that they use? In most cases, it comes from tax. The use of tax revenue to undertake various government expenditure. Now let's consider the following questions under national income. 1. The magnitude of the national income of a country depends on all of the following except 1. A. Quantity of natural resources available. B. Level of technical know-how. C. Mobility of labor. D. Level of productivity. Number 2. A budget is defined as dash, a summary of expected income. B. Record of value of services rendered in a year. C. Record of goods produced in a year. D. Summary of expected income and expenditure. Number 3. Net national product is equal to dash. A. Gross domestic product minus depreciation. B. Gross national product minus depreciation. C. Gross national product plus depreciation. C. Gross national income plus taxation. Number 4. In calculating gross national product by the income approach, all of the following are included except A. Wages and salary. B. Rent on houses. C. Retirement benefits. D. Business profit. Number 5. Gross domestic product at market price plus net factor income from abroad gives dash A. Gross capital formation, B. Net capital formation, C. Disposable income, D. Gross national income. Now let's take it one after the other and try to provide answers to them. Number one, that says the magnitude of the national income of the country depends on all of the following except dash, except mobility of labor, which is option C. That is not included in the calculation of national income. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. The number two, that says the budget is defined as dash, is defined as the summary of expected income and expenditure, which makes option D to be the correct answer. And number three says national income, net national product is equal to dash, is equal to the gross national product minus depreciation. That is option B. That means for number three, option B is the correct answer. And number four, it said in calculating gross national product by the income approach, all the following are included except wages and salary, rent on houses, retirement benefits. Option C is the correct answer, which is retirement benefits. And the last one, which says gross domestic product at market price plus net factor from abroad gives that it gives is equal to gross national income. That is option D, which made the number 5 to be D as the correct answer. International trade. International trade is also known as foreign trade or external trade. It involves the exchange of goods and services between two or more countries. The principles underlying the buying and selling between one country and another is specialization. That is, some countries are specialized in production of one product or the other than other countries due to some factors such as the availability of one resources, natural resources, or the other. The theory of international trade, therefore, is based on the principle of comparative cost as proposed by David Ricardo, which supports the idea of a particular country producing the goods and services that they have the higher level of production that at the lowest cost possible. That is the theory, what the theory is trying to preach. The theory states that a country should specialize on the production of goods and services for which it has cost advantage over another country. That is, the production of goods and services that they can produce in large quantity with the minimum cost possible than other countries. Those are the ideas behind the comparative cost as proposed by David Ricardo. What are the types of international trade that we have? One, we have what we call bilateral international trade. This is a trade agreement in which two countries exchange goods and services. It occurs when each country tries to balance its payments and receipts separately and individually with each other. That is the bilateral international trade. Two, we have what we call multilateral international trade. It's a type of international trade in which a country trades with many other countries, not just one particular one. This ensures international division of labor. That is, they can get as many forms of products from different countries as possible. Those are the two major types of international trade. Also under this, we need to understand the opposite that we refer to as the internal trade, which is also known as domestic trade or what we call home trade. It involves the exchange of goods and services among the people within a particular country. Internal trade involves the buying and selling of goods and services within a particular country. For example, within a particular country like Nigeria. It doesn't go out. That is internal trade. Now you ask, what are the similarities? What are the common things between, the two forms of trade, both international and internal trade? One, both involve the use of money as medium of exchange. That is the first similarities. Two, both involve a degree of specialization between the trading partners that are involved. Then we also have both involve the activities of middlemen. Middlemen are the intermediaries between the producers and the final consumers, such as wholesalers and retailers. Both international trade and internal trade involves the activities of middlemen. Also, both involve the act of buying and selling of goods and services, and also both arise due to inequitable distribution of natural endowments and production resources. Those are some of the similarities between international trade and internal trade. As we have the similarities, we also have some differences. One, we can see the table trying to differentiate the international trade from the internal trade with the use of some contents, such as we have one, the boundary. For international trade, there is outside the activities, the trading activities takes place outside the country, while under the internal trade, the trading activities take place within the country. Then, in form of currency, in international trade, the currency is usually different currencies of each country, but within the internal trade, the currency is the same. Also, for restriction, there is usually a kind of restriction that takes place in form of when it comes to international trade, such as tariffs, embargo, exports and import duties, and so on like that. But during under the internal trade, there is no restriction whatsoever. There is freedom of trading, but under the international trade, there are some kind of restriction that you must pay some